Payday. You want payday? I know that. Canelo Alvarez, I was born ready, lets the fangs out. Responds to Oscar, I do believe. De La Hoya, who said he was avoiding Jamal Charlo, tagged the wrong Charlo. I made a video about it yesterday, so I'm making this video today. We're going to follow up with Canelo's response. Get the out of here. Stay tuned.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Please. Please, get the fuck out of here, man.
What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Listen, people, if you love what I'm doing, we are trying to level up even further. Hit the subscribe button. What's in it for you? I drop daily boxing content. All things boxing. This is your one-stop shop. The latest and greatest when it comes to boxing. Fighters like Canelo, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Pre- and post-fight breakdowns and much more. So make sure you guys consider subscribing if it's your first time or if you have not hit that button. Also hit the bell icon for post notifications so you don't miss a thing. Now, let me quickly recap what's going on. I did a video about this yesterday. You know, we got great viewership on it. And bottom line is, this page posted a random video of Canelo Alvarez mentoring a young fighter, up-and-coming fighter. No biggie. It says, received a gift of knowledge from the best pound-for-pound fighter, Canelo, right? And it just seemed like a standard post, a youngin' getting some lessons from a mature, crafty fighter, pound-for-pound top 5 fighter, and Canelo Alvarez, no biggie. But one person obviously follows the page or has seen that and has something to say. Boom, you see it right there, Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya said, please, this guy does everything wrong. His head is up when he throws his hooks on his heels. He's flat-footed. What else? Oh, he avoids Charlo. And he tagged the wrong Charlo, but most people are under the impression that he was referring to Jamal Charlo, the one that was most recently in the same division as Canelo before Canelo moved up and fought Kovalev and then moved down to 168, which is Jamal Charlo. So some people had mixed opinions on the video. Listen, the hilarious thing is this. The hilarity of it all is this. You have a Mexican-American Olympian on his verified page who said this about a Mexican fighter, yet in my video, you've seen comments about some of the comments, you guys can look the video. I'll try to attach it in the comment section. Some of the comments said, you blacks are always hating on Canelo and the black channels, this and that, with no mention of the whole reason the video was conducted, which was Oscar De La Hoya, a Mexican-American fighter. So I thought that was ironic to hear from some of the racists in boxing. And funny enough, Jermell Charlo was on Deontay Wilder's live and he says, race doesn't matter in the sport of boxing, which I totally disagree with. He says skills pay the bills. But Floyd Mayweather was the most skilled fighter of my generation. He left out the sport undefeated. And despite all of that skill, he was still criticized all the time. And he had overall offense, defense, could fight any type of way, off the ropes, center of the ring, moving backwards, moving forward, etc. So I disagree with Jermell and what he said. And it's just funny that I was reading some of the comments before I blocked some of the people who were saying racist things and generalizing and stereotyping. De La Hoya made these comments that I just read for you, that Canelo Alvarez, he says he was avoiding Charlo. And the retaliation, you know, the fans got angered by what De La Hoya said and him sparking the conversation. So they chose to try to get mad at me, you're not going to shoot the messenger. You're not going to disrespect me on my channel. So put it that way. So if any other racists, feel that type of way, then this ain't the channel for you. We don't condone that. So anyway, De La Hoya used to promote Canelo, and that was the latest. I made the video, and all of a sudden Canelo responds. So it's just funny how that works, because the post had been up, people weren't really talking about it. I made the video, it did great viewership, and I think it's like 18,000 or views or whatever it was, and all of a sudden Canelo responded. Now I was trying to pull it up, but it's harder on the computer to pull it up, so I have a screen cap because it's hard to pull the actual responses. And since Canelo's responded, I would have to go through all these to try to find Canelo's comment. But just so you guys know, as you've seen in the title of the video, Canelo has responded. This is a screen recording, so you guys can see it's the same post and everything else is the same. But at the end of the day, this becomes easier. So we'll look at it together. Oscar De La Hoya liked it and then proceeded to make that statement and talk about Canelo Alvarez. And this is Canelo's response to De La Hoya, so you guys can see. Let me take it back a little bit. So you see right there, Oscar again said, please, this guy does everything wrong, head up when he throws his hooks. He's on his heels. He's flat-footed. What else? Oh, he avoids Charlo, right? Canelo obviously got back to him some type of way after I made my video. And this is Canelo's response on his verified page. Canelo says, Oscar De La Hoya, do me a favor and go F yourself. And he put a spoon, a skillet, and all these like hatchets and hammers and stuff like that. So I'm believing he's calling Oscar De La Hoya like Utensil man. And if you don't know what that means, Oscar De La Hoya was the target of criticism from, let me see if I can pull it up. There was a female that said Oscar, let's see if I can pull it up. Because it's so crazy, I just rather you guys see it. You see it on the screen right there. They call these are Oscar De La Hoya and X are center of a $2 million plot after two Instagram IG models filmed the boxer engaging in blah 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 with kitchen utensils. Right? So Canelo pulled the fangs out, and he's obviously referring to this allegation that Oscar was somehow using, you see right here, caught using utensils in the bedroom or whatever. Right? Oscar De La Hoya caught, blah, blah, blah. And I don't, oh, let me get off here real quick because YouTube might mess around. So basically two females, this is what comes up when you put Oscar utensils. Oh, wow. What is that, a juicer? A whisk? So anyway, yeah, so these females came out and said Oscar De La Hoya likes some freaky-ish. And, that was that. I don't know what happened with that particular case, but they wanted money to not leak the tape or whatever. So Canelo, bro, English-speaking Canelo is a problem. He says, De La Hoya, do me a favor and go F yourself and put a bunch of utensils. Cold world. Oh my gosh. That was funny though. He says, Oscar, do me a favor and utensil. This is other people responding to it. And whatever the case is, craziness. So that's the direct response. Canelo's seen it. This is his verified page. I will show you. Boom, you click on it and it takes you to Canelo's active page, 9.6 million. You see the verified check mark. So this is Canelo's page. And that was his direct response to Oscar De La Hoya. So things heating up. Some people may be questioning, hey, Ego, what caused this? Why are they going back and forth? Former fighter, seemingly former friends, former promoter. Well, if I had to take an educated guess, and this is why you guys have to subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest. I go over all these things when they're hot and live topics. But about a month ago, Canelo did an interview an in-depth interview exclusive with Graham Bensinger. And these are some of the things he said about De La Hoya. He didn't hold back. Canelo, this is right before the Saunders fight, right? Right before the Billy Joe Saunders victory for Canelo. Canelo, uncharacteristic of him, he normally doesn't really say too much, and he doesn't really, trash talk. But for whatever reason, on this interview, he pulled no punches and went in on De La Hoya. So I have the subtitles so you guys can follow on screen and see what he was saying. And Canelo Alvarez says, look, I don't like to talk much about people, but I've been a very loyal person. I was always with Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. He is not Golden Boy. He doesn't do anything in Golden Boy. So right then and there, he's saying Oscar is not really in charge of his own company. He says he's not the man pulling strings, right? He says he was loyal to a fault, but Oscar himself is not the one that is pulling the strings and doing all the grunt work, I guess you could say. It says Oscar, he's worried about drinking and being involved in other things. Oscar, he isn't the Golden Boy. So he's saying he doesn't have a firm grip of his company, right? He said the decisions are made by other people. When Richard Schaefer took all the other boxers to PBC, he says he took all of them and he wanted to take me to PBC, and I was the only boxer that stayed with Golden Boy. So Canelo's admitting that he remained loyal. He said, because I'm a loyal man. But then later I understood why everyone had gone and Richard Schaefer, why he left. So Canelo Alvarez was basically saying it started to make sense too little too late. He said, because those who are with Golden Boy, they're only looking after their own benefit, not the boxer's benefit. So these were very damning words. Look at the host. These were very damaging and damning words. Canelo Alvarez, he said, of course, he had a lot of temptations in life, but he had never tried drugs. But he says that he understood. Let me get these utensils off. Hold on. He says he understood in the end why everyone left to PBC, including Richard Schaefer, fighters like Amir Khan, Abner Mares. Adrian Broner, AB, Arctic Bears, Algebra Books, and guys like Abner Mares, Leo Santa Cruz. These utensils is back. Hold on. So, not a good look, for De La Hoya. His stable is dwindling. His star pupil, Ryan Garcia, is kind of not being looked at as in the best light because he's trash talking Devin Haney whilst he just recently pulled out of his recently staged fight with Javier Fortuna. So that's not the best of looks. And now Canelo's going in on him and putting utensils and things like that. So at the end of the day, I don't know. Golden Boy also had Jaime Munguia fight that was scheduled, but they can't seem to get an appropriate opponent. And now their biggest flagship fighter, Canelo Iowa's born ready Alvarez, is trashing you and responding to you. People are laughing. He's a free agent, so he can fight Caleb Plant on PBC, presumably on pay-per-view, Fox pay-per-view. He can do as he pleases. He just got married. Congrats to Canelo on his marriage. And, best of luck. But life seems to be going good. He's pretty much getting overpaid by DAZN for the level of competition that he's recently fought. Caleb Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, Average, Pilgrim. All those fights look seemingly easy, pretty easy for Canelo to manage. Now he's on honeymoon and vacation with his girl, traveling the world. And meanwhile, De La Hoya, a lot of people are saying he looks salty. Oh, that's a dope picture. A lot of people are saying De La Hoya looks salty and is hating. And Canelo has a lot of options. And, it doesn't look like this friendship or relationship will be mended anytime soon. At the end of the day, Canelo's his own man. He got free. Usually in situations like that, I haven't seen many situations where a fighter moves back. You get that type of independence where you're a free agent and you can cut out the middleman. I mean, who's going to want to go back to a situation where they have to deal with the promoter? Especially, it just looks a little too far gone at this point, especially looking at Oscar De La Hoya And the practices at Golden Boy and what Canelo's saying he experienced with the company, saying other people do the work and Oscar's too worried about drinking and partying. And this is a bad look. I know Ryan Garcia is over there still, but you know, Ryan might end up trying to leave. Or a fight that people talked about was fellow countryman Jaime Munguia, but that's a Golden Boy fighter. And if Canelo ain't messing with you and he's roasting you and calling you utensils and stuff like that, he might not want to do business with your company. Similarly to Floyd Mayweather doesn't go out of his way to go with his ex-promoter and cut the pie and do business with Top Rank. So usually when you see these steps forward, that they're for keeps. So I don't even know if Canelo will ever do business with Golden Boy on any level. Like I said, like a Jaime Munguia fighter or something like that, or Quigley. It just doesn't look likely with the two beefing like this. Use my link in the description to get TUBEBUDDY. Let me know how I did in this video. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Canelo has responded to Oscar De La Hoya. TUBEBUDDY is an awesome browser extension to help you level up your YouTube content. I use it. If you want to make money on YouTube, you gotta optimize your videos, and that's why I've been using it. I've been using it for years. It's worked out great for me. I still use it today for videos like this. Let me know what you guys think of Canelo's response to De La Hoya. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.